What's up, you guys? When you hear the word passion, do you have a positive reaction or a negative reaction? I have both. I have a love-hate relationship with passion. Can you relate? On the one hand, I love passion because I actually identify as a passionate person, somebody that loves life and isn't afraid to show it. I take pictures everywhere I go. I will interrupt your conversation to ask you to turn around and smile for my camera. I write in my journal almost every day to just be present and feel my feelings and feel the moment and feel the day. And on the other hand, I always find myself standing up for people who don't have that kind of passion, who are content to be more chill and more low-key and mellow. I mean, there's something very calming and grounding about being around those kinds of people. And maybe it's personality, but I really struggled with this leadership quality of passion, which is chapter 12 of this book that I am working through with my leadership mastermind group this year. This was by far the most challenging topic that I have had to wrestle with and teach this year. But in this video, I am going to operate on the assumption that you would rather follow and become the kind of leader that is passionate than to follow and become the kind of leader who isn't passionate. So in this video, I'm gonna share 3 ways that you can become more passionate. Let's begin by defining passion. The meaning of the word passion has changed and evolved over time. You might know that the root of the word passion is from Latin, which means to endure, to suffer. And yet the way we use the word passion today usually means a strong, intense feeling that compels action. So actually, you get a more robust understanding of the word passion if you put the older and the newer meanings together. And so what I think of when I think of passion is a life-giving energy and aliveness that drives you so much that you are willing to endure suffering for the cause that you are passionate about. So if passion is this life-giving energy that can be so intense and powerful that you are actually willing to endure suffering for its cause, then the question of how to become a more passionate person is a question of how do I gain more of this life-giving energy? And you want to know what another word is for life-giving energy? Love. So 3 ways to become a more passionate person is another way of saying 3 ways to love life more. The first way to love life more is to focus on the things you love about life. I'm going to show you something that's really old that I dug up. It's something I did in college. And I just literally made a list of everything I love and things that make me happy. So books, coffee and cream, vanilla lattes, church services, pansies, flowers, laughter, email, mornings, worship music, scented lotion, sunny afternoons, chocolate-covered gummy bears, yum, Pottery Barn, candles, walking dogs, sunrises, sunsets, breakfast, that is my favorite meal of the day, picnics, green lawns, gentle rain, good haircuts, prayer, weddings. I know, kind of random, right? I must have had a lot of free time on my hands. But that exercise of just literally making a list of things that make me happy, things I love about our world, things I love about life, increase my passion, my energy goes up when I realize that I am surrounded every single day by lovely, beautiful, good gifts from God. So make a list. Literally take out your journal and make a list of 10, 20, 36 things that make you happy. You can look at this list every morning, or better yet, add to it every morning. Add just one thing to this list and see how long of a list this can be. You can come up with hundreds of things that you love about life if you get into the details of your life. Okay, the second way to become a more passionate person who loves life is to do the mundane, repetitive, monotonous tasks in life. Do them with love. I mean, let's be honest. Life is full of mundane and monotonous and repetitive tasks that we don't get excited about doing. Every single one of my students said homework is monotonous and tedious, but it has to get done. I said housework is monotonous and mundane and tedious, but it has to get done. And the challenge is, especially as leaders and people who are learning to lead our own lives well before we lead anybody else, is to learn to do the mundane tasks in life well, to do them with love. And I shared this quote that I love from G.K. Chesterton that I want to share with you. It is from his book called Orthodoxy, and it is a passage that has been titled, "Do It Again." But perhaps God is strong enough to exult in monotony. It is possible that God says every morning, "Do it again" to the sun. And every evening, "Do it again" to the moon. It may not be automatic monotony that makes all daisies alike. It may be that God makes every daisy separately, but has never gotten tired of making daisies. It may be that he has the eternal appetite of infancy. For we have sinned and grown old, and our Father is younger than we. Isn't that beautiful? The thought that God does repetitive, monotonous tasks of creating every day, but doesn't get tired of it, doesn't get tired of rising the sun and setting the sun and rising the moon and making daisies and waking us up from our night's sleep every morning. Every day, God does it again, and he doesn't get tired of it. He is life. God is life. And that's why he's so full of life that he doesn't get tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again. We can learn from that attitude, right? We can learn from our God who makes every daisy passionately every single day and doesn't get bored of it. So I'm going to challenge you with the same challenge I gave to the mastermind students, and that is to find love in going to school, to learn to love having to do your homework, to learn to love having to sit in your classes, learn to love practicing your piano, going to practice, doing your chores at home, right? We as adults, as parents especially, I have had to learn how to enjoy doing dishes. I have had to learn how to enjoy vacuuming the floor and folding laundry. Monotonous, tedious, mundane, repetitive tasks that must be done. And yet, it's possible to do these mundane tasks with love. I would say a good 30 to 40% of our lives is made up of tedious, mundane, and monotonous, repetitive tasks that we actually would prefer not to do. So if we decide that we're always going to hate these tasks and resist them, then we are essentially deciding to hate 30 to 40% of our daily lives. And that is not going to make for a life of passion and a life of love. Okay, the last way that I think you can become a more passionate person who loves your life is to try as many new things as possible, gain as many experiences as possible to find out what lights you up. Do new things so that you can discover new loves that you didn't know you had, especially in middle school, high school, and college when you have so many opportunities to do new things, meet new people, go places, have healthy, positive experiences. The fact is, you're not going to learn to love life more by sitting on a couch, right? By laying in your bed. You gotta get out and intentionally do things and gain experiences and put yourself out there and step out of your comfort zone. I challenged the students in my mastermind to live like a scientist. And the scientist we talked about was Thomas Edison. I said, be a scientist. Pretend you are Thomas Edison inventing a light bulb, and you need to light everything to see what burns. He was looking for that perfect filament that would create a long-lasting commercial grade light bulb, right? And that substance he found was carbon. But until he found carbon, he has that famous quote where he tried 10,000 things that didn't work, right? He was famous for saying, I found 10,000 ways that won't work, but it wasn't failure. Same goes for us. We should live like a scientist and have 10,000 experiences so that we can discover what actually lights us up, what actually makes us come alive, what brings out the best in us, what gives us vision for our future and a plan behind our strengths, our gifts, our talents, everything that God has wired into us. And we can't do that from the comfort zone. We need to live like a scientist and light everything and see what burns. I ended my mastermind last Sunday with this, and I'm going to end our video today with the same word, and that is a word of caution, of warning. The Bible has a lot to say about worldly passions, youthful passions, fleshly passions. And it is so true that we are always going to find plenty of passion for the things that our flesh naturally craves and naturally desires. And we need to resist those kinds of passions. 1 John 2:15 says, do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. But there are godly passions that we are instructed to pursue as believers. 1 Timothy 6:11 says, pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, steadfastness, and gentleness. So we are instructed as believers who flee from the passions of the flesh and pursue the passions of God. And let me just close by encouraging us to pursue two passions in particular, God and growth. Because when we pursue God, we will grow in passion. God is the giver of life. And if passion is loving life, then loving God will lead to loving life. If you grow your passion for God, you will gain a passion for life. I hope this video has helped you to appreciate passion, godly passion, and has been helpful in helping you to become a more passionate person who will pursue God and pursue growth. And in that pursuit, you will find that life-giving energy that makes you come alive, because we know that we serve a God who pursues us passionately every single day. We pursue a God who never gets tired of waking us up every day and instructing our hearts to beat and our brains to work and our bodies to function. And that is the kind of God that commands our worship and our discipleship. And so may we grow in passion together as leaders who are learning to lead ourselves well as learning to lead others well. I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, you guys.